Let's just jump straight into the next bit of E3 coverage on the series of E3 videos. There we go. Like we're off. We covered Microsoft just a minute ago, Jack. Would you?
You mean
like...
yesterday? But through the movie magic, it was just yeah, okay.
You've ruined the upload schedule now. Maybe I don't want to do it in that order. Nice one, Dick. Right. Do you want to talk Ubisoft?
Ubisoft. Yeah, let's go Ubisoft.
Ubisoft. I think this is another one where I've not written down many things, quite like the Microsoft one, but we got a good 40-minute recording out of Microsoft. So I'm hoping this one will be a bit quieter. But I'm going to bounce around. There's 3 things I've got noted down of what we want to see from Ubisoft, or I think that we would like to see. First of all, I'm just going to glance over it because I don't care for it. Beyond Good and Evil 2. Do you care?
Never played the first one. Trailer looked fucking just a bit wacky and weird for my taste. Don't care.
Don't care. I'm not fussed. I watched.
I never touched it.
I played the first one when it was free on Xbox, and I think I played it for about 2 hours. I didn't care for it. As far as I can see, it looks nothing like the first one, so I don't think that's going to hold any weight. It looks like another Ubisoft open world. I'm sure the open world will be good, filled with collectibles, and I just don't care. I don't care. Moving on. Assassin's Creed.
I got the Velcro.
Did you see that new teaser trailer? That incredible teaser trailer drop?
What a man who kicks him out. Sparta kicks him off because we've got a reference 300, haven't we, from Greece?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously going to be in the same vein of Origins.
Yep.
Like,
do you think it's too soon after Origins? This is what most people can say. Yeah, it is, isn't it? It's
the thing is obviously they have to have been developing this either alongside Origins or just after Origins. So it's almost like they expected Origins to be good, which is a bit worrying.
Well, it was good.
It was good, but it's worrying if you just expect it to be good and start copying and pasting that format, because it's Ubisoft. We know they're going to copy and paste the format like they do with all their games, especially if they're releasing them year after year. So with Origins, we know that they're just going to copy and paste Origins, make it Greece. So they have to have been working on it before we even got Oranges. Before, so that means they expected it to do well. They expected it to be good, which is a bit worrying because it means they've not prepared themselves for any feedback.
I'll tell you where my concerns are.
But the thing is, I don't know if Origins needs any feedback because it was very good.
I fucking loved Origins. Hands down, the best Assassin's Creed game. It was fucking phenomenal. I put way more hours into it than I expected to. I brought as much DLC up until the Pharaohs DLC, because then that was when I jumped off of Xbox and I've not gone back since. However, I did everything in Origins. Before the DLC came out, I did every side mission. I got every collectible. I 100% did every town. I did everything that there was to do in the base game. There was nothing that I didn't touch. Then the DLC came out, and I did the exact same thing. Every collectible, 100% did every fucking town. I loved it to pieces. The Pharaohs DLC came out, and I think I was talking to you at the time, or I might have been talking to one of the other guys. But I just couldn't get into it as much. I started to 100% the towns, and I think I played it for about 2 hours or so. And I couldn't get a feel for it. And I kept on coming back every couple of days. And I remember saying out loud in the party chat or whatever, just being like, I think I'm done. I think I'm done with this. I
think I remember you saying that.
Yeah, I'm not enticed to carry on playing. So my concern is, like you say, they must have been making this alongside. If I burn out on Origins... And I liked it way more than the average person. I'm confident in it. I don't think many people did what I did. There was a lot of those like final achievements for getting all the collectibles, and on Xbox it tells you what percentage. All of them at the time of recording, anyway. All of them were like 1%ers. I know I'm in that really niche minority who really squeezed every bit of content out of that game. So I was a big fan, and I'm really concerned that I would pick up, what's it called? The Odyssey.
Yeah.
It's the new one. Yeah, I'm really concerned I'm going to pick it up and I'm just going to be greeted with the exact same thing, and I'm going to bail on it very quick. Yeah, just I'm very concerned about that. I think they've gone in way too soon. I don't know why the fuck they've gone for Greece. I woke up this morning. Obviously, the teaser trailer dropped overnight. I woke up, and the amount of Twitter rage. Granted, it's the internet. Everybody's overindulgent in anger, but everybody's saying, "Why the fuck are you not doing Japan? We've been asking for it since Assassin's Creed 2," and I have to agree. I'd be a lot more excited if it was in the setting that I was looking forward to. Again, I said this about Origins to begin with. I didn't care for Egypt at all. I didn't know that was what I wanted, and it was perfect. But because there was elements of Greece in Origins, and I have to say that those are the settings. I can't remember any of the towns' names. I'm not sure if Athens and stuff was in there, but those, when you had to go to the Greek towns and do those sort of side quests and those missions, that was the weakest point of the game for me. So Odyssey, I am going to take quite a wide berth on. They're going to have to show off quite a lot of new to get me excited, obviously at E3, because I do think they've jumped the gun, they've gone too soon, and yeah, I think they've ballsed it up.
It's a very safe setting, isn't it, ancient Greece?
Yep. It's not good. It's really not good. I think what they're going for here is, obviously Assassin's Creed 1 came out and everyone sort of, mixed bag, but most people liked it. Assassin's Creed 2 came out, blew everyone's minds, fucking incredible. Ubisoft were top of the world. And then a year later when they announced Brotherhood, everybody lost their minds. It was like, oh my God, like we're getting more. And Brotherhood was surprisingly good as well, but that was where people were like, oh yeah, I'm burnt out now. Then Revelations came out. And that was, for me, that was where I died off. I was like, no, I really did not like that. And then we had the yearly cycle, and I think this is the same. Like, this is Brotherhood. But I think a lot more people are going to drop off a lot faster this time. I think
took a break for the movie, didn't they?
Yeah, I think
it was like a year or two.
Yeah, it just seems like Ubisoft are, because I remember when they were like, oh yeah, we're taking a year off, and everyone's like, oh, finally they're listening. We're taking a year off from Assassin's Creed. They're going to take a break because the franchise will fatigue otherwise. I don't think that's the case at all. I think it wouldn't even surprise me if next year we got another, maybe like an animated movie or something. I think they want annual content with this franchise, whether it's a movie, a big like comic series, or a TV show, maybe like a Netflix thing, or a game. I think they want this annually, not just games anymore. I just think the franchise needs to be prominent and has a big release every year.
I think a Netflix show would have been better than the movie.
I think a Netflix show would be fucking awesome. I think a Netflix show would be brilliant.
That would work.
Yeah,
fantastic.
That would work brilliantly. Ubisoft, if you're listening, get in contact with Netflix, because I guarantee that will create quite a lot of buzz. They're doing a Witcher series, aren't they, on Netflix? So
yeah,
maybe video game TV. Maybe that's why video game movies don't work. Because you try and condense all that content into 1 hour. So maybe a TV series is the way to go with it. Have a game and TV series been done before?
Halo did that to 2 web series, didn't it? Not technically a TV series, but they did Forward Unto Dawn and then the other one for Halo 5 that was absolute trash.
That's quite interesting. I hope we see more of that. Maybe that's what they're announced. I'll be excited for that. If they
the thing is that I find annoying is I don't want them to just make the game as a TV show or a movie. Just
use the universe. That's all you have. This is what bothers me about video game movies. Is they're like, oh, we need to condense it all into one place. If you're doing it with a TV show, I genuinely think that is a genius idea, which I came up with, and nobody else has ever thought of that 30 seconds ago. But just use the universe. That's all you have to. Don't steal the story, because the story has already been told in the game. Just take the universe and use that as a baseline. That's all you have to do. Simple. Moving on. That's enough Assassin's Creed talk, because this one, I'm excited. I hope you have a lot to say about this. Splinter Cell.
Yes.
Are we going to see another one?
No.
What? Why?
I don't believe it's going to happen.
Why not?
Just don't believe it's going to happen. I just don't believe it. I believe that the only bit of Splinter Cell we're going to get is that bit of him in Wildlands.
Do you not think that was them teasing, putting the feelers out?
No.
You don't at all?
No. I think
you've completely ruined this segment for me.
I honestly think that's just them just trying to make reference, being like, oh, look, it's still a thing. We could put them into Ghost Recon. Maybe that'll bring people back to Ghost Recon, like the Predator. But
and I'm gonna tread out. I know all of what I've said has already been said when that DLC came out. They brought back Michael Ironside. They brought back like what most people want from Sam Fisher. They brought back the original voice actor for that little cameo. The script was very odd in the sense of he sort of referenced that he's the last one.
Yeah, he's referencing Snake.
Yeah, no, he's referencing stealth games as a whole. Because they don't make them anymore. He's the last one. So I genuinely think that was look, we've brought back the original voice actor. We're putting out... They obviously did the reference to Metal Gear and how that is basically gone now because of Konami. And I do think that was a nice little nod to be like, there's only one game series left. We've not seen it for a while, but the original voice actor's back. So we might have a little something later on in the year. And that little something is E3.
I know what you mean, but I've been hoping for a Splinter Cell game every E3 since after Blacklist came out. So I just don't want to get too excited again this year, and then nothing happens.
Interesting.
It's important to mention as well that we are, compared to hardcore Splinter Cell fans, we are Splinter Cell casuals because we really like Conviction and Blacklist, and everyone hates them. And they're the only two I've played, but I love them so much. I had such a good time playing them.
I have played the other ones, but I was way too young. I remember playing Chaos Theory and Double Agent, but it was more a case of I played the training level and the first level, but I was far too young. My brother had them, and I thought they were really cool because I love sneaking around in games. Like stealth genre is my absolute favorite, but I was far too young and I just couldn't do it, I guess. So Conviction was my first proper Splinter Cell game, I guess. But and I know that will annoy like the Splinter Cell fandom, I guess. Like, oh, it was too action based, but it was fucking brilliant. Like it brought on so many extra fans. It's like you say, like obviously me and Jack are considered casuals, but we're massive fans of Conviction. And I've not played Blacklist yet. I've downloaded it because I
haven't played Blacklist.
Not yet. I've downloaded it on PC. I think that's what I'm gonna get onto once I'm done with Far Cry. And just smash that out because I'm sort of hoping to play that before E3 because then I'll be like fully hyped, and then if they announce a new Splinter Cell, which I think they're going to, I really think they're going to, so that's going to hit quite hard if Blacklist hits the right beats with me. So I'm quite excited for that. But that is odd that you're not. Well, you're cautiously.
I'm cautious.
You're protecting your heart, I guess. Okay, that's fair.
After Mass Effect Andromeda, it can't take too much.
Speaking of, what a brilliant segue. Let's quickly talk about EA because
wait, we've can we just say that we might see something about Siege, but probably just more operators. But anyway, back onto EA.
Do you think we're going to see more for Siege?
Yeah, because they've got a whole. They're probably just going to show like a trailer for some new operators, or maybe just announce plans they have.
All right.
Or probably just do like, oh, we've got an update coming next month. We're going to give you a 5-minute presentation on that.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, I'd say that's fairly safe, but more games as service bullshit. But EA, speaking of games as service and bullshit, the wonderful guys over there. I've only got 2 games written down, Jack. Would you like to guess what ones they are?
Anthem.
Yep, let's talk about Anthem. Let's start with that. Are we going to see much? Are we going to get a release date?
I reckon we're going to get a demo.
A demo? What, more from what they showed us last time? Or
that wasn't a demo, was it? That was
demo?
That was a fucking CGI trailer. The whole thing was pre-rendered.
Was it? I thought it was a gameplay trailer.
Yeah, but it looks like it's just been entirely pre-rendered. The actual game's not gonna look anything like that. Yeah, we'll probably get like an actual, playable demo. They'll probably be like, they'll be on the main stage. They'll walk around and be like, oh look, now you're going to look at the flowers for a bit, and then you're going to shoot an alien.
You excited?
And then we're going to have 2 people walk in. No, because it's EA. Like, even when BioWare are dead to me. Can that be the title of this video? BioWare are dead to me. And yeah. The Mass Effect Andromeda was so horrific and disappointed me so much more than my own life has in general. That I never care about anything BioWare are going to do again.
Wow.
And it wasn't even, before I even said, I didn't really give a shit about the fact. Okay, we're going to go into Andromeda here. Right. I didn't really give a shit about the fact that the animations were terrible. I can get past bad animations. I watch bad movies all the time. That's fine. It just was a terrible game from start to finish. I hated it so much. Fuck BioWare. And now they're bringing out Anthem, which the way it looks cool. It's got everything I love, you know, big robot suits, guns, shooting aliens, blowing shit up. It's going for that sort of Borderlands, Destiny, Division sort of game. That it looks like it's going to be one of those loot collecting games, but then it's probably going to have mad loot box shit on top of it. And loot collecting games can be fun, but the problem I have with Destiny and the Division and Borderlands is you're just replaying the same shit over and over again. I mean, fair enough, the Division had the Division brings a lot of new content and it brings new ideas a lot of time. It has that whole survival mode, it has that multiplayer dark zone mode. It keeps bringing loads of stuff over the 2 years it's been out or however long. But Destiny, I only played Destiny 1, didn't play Destiny 2. Destiny 1 was fucking... Oh, what? Oh, sorry, Steam's giving me an update. Destiny 1 was... I played that once, it was fucking shit. I was like, I don't want to play this game again. Like, the story was awful. I don't want to just play through it loads of times just to get better loot. That's what Anthem's going to be. I mean, it looks really big and expansive. It's not going to be that big, is it? Come on, let's be real. It's going to suck. It's going to be full of loot boxes. If it's not full of loot boxes, EA are going to try some other bullshit they're going to do. They're probably going to make something else up that they're not going to call loot boxes or whatever. Yeah, it's just going to be shit, I think. And of course, it's BioWare who fucking ruined one of my favorite, probably my second favorite franchise ever. Mass Effect 2 and Halo 3 are my two favorite games of all time. I love Mass Effect 3. I love Mass Effect 1. Mass Effect Andromeda I was so excited for, and they just took my hopes and dreams and they just buried them in a grave. And they didn't even put a flower on top.
Salt.
What was the other game from E3 then?
I just want to, but before I go into the next game that I've got written down, it's interesting that you say about loot boxes, because I think overall EA are going to come out on stage with their tail between their legs this year. They have fucked up so much.
I don't mean it's going to be straight up loot boxes. I mean, it's going to be more games as service bullshit, but they're just going to repackage it, find some different system, different mechanic. Like, not necessarily loot boxes, but I'm using loot boxes as a term to, like, colloquial term for microtransactional bullshit.
Okay. See, I think where Anthem was so far in development before all of the fuck ups with Battlefront 2 and all that sort of shit, I think they've built loot boxes and microtransactions and all of that shit as a core mechanic into Anthem from the start, the same as what they did with Battlefront 2. And I think where that's all blown up, I honestly wouldn't be surprised if we didn't see a thing from Anthem, because they've either panicked, and it might just be I'm being way too optimistic and giving them way too much credit here. I think they would have shit their pants, been like, we really need to stop, because the amount of regulation threat that is over the entire industry, the amount of hate that they got, the amount of, not abuse, but like punches were thrown from different developers directly at EA saying you need to fucking stop this because the entire industry is in effect here. Like, all eyes are on us and it's because of what you're fucking doing. I may be giving them too much credit. I think they might have gone back and be like, right, we need to restructure Anthem. We need to take all of this shit out. And we've seen examples like this. Warner Brothers, again, they're just as fucking bad as EA. They've ripped out the microtransactions from Shadow of Mordor. We've seen the pay-to-win sort of stuff be pulled out from Battlefront 2. Granted, this all might be reactionary, but I think the industry as a whole, if anything EA have done good over the last year, was where they fucked up so much. I do generally feel like the industry is receding away from that pay-to-win, and how they definitely got way too greedy. So I think if they came out with Anthem in its original state, with that sort of content built into the core mechanics, I don't think they're going to be doing themselves any favours. And I would like to think that they would have tried to fix that. So I wouldn't be surprised if Anthem, we don't see much. I think they'll address it in some way, but I still think it's way too far off if they're doing that. If they give a release date, then absolutely I'm on board with you. And I think it's going to be a games as service. It's going to be full of bullshit. And I think that will be the final nail in the coffin for BioWare, because I don't think they'll recover from that.
I think if Anthem fails, then EA are going to shut them down.
Yep, absolutely.
And they'll just be added to that long list that everyone likes to make memes about every few months.
Yeah, and I think that's really interesting, because only a few years ago, when EA first bought them out, and everyone was like, oh, like, all EA do, they buy companies, they fucking crush them, and then they shut them down. Everyone was like, oh yeah, but that won't happen. BioWare is too big. BioWare is too good. It won't happen. Look how fucking far they've fallen with one game.
Yeah.
So I do generally, I think Anthem has to be an absolute breakout success. It has to be hitting the high mark. It has to be critically acclaimed. It has to have no controversy and no bullshit. It has to be universally praised. Otherwise, BioWare are in deep doo-doo.
I mean, if you look back at it, like if you go back to Mass Effect 3, that was their first, I think, big controversy. That was, the whole thing with the ending.
Yeah.
But to be honest, that wasn't even that. But that was an argument about the writing, which, I mean, yeah, they gave you 3 endings, all of them were the same. Fair enough, that was bullshit. But I'd still really enjoy Mass Effect 3.
Yeah.
I played it quite a few times. I think I played it more than I played the second one, maybe. I can see past that because I enjoyed the rest of the game so much. But then you remember, that game also had loot boxes and multiplayer, didn't it?
Yep. The thing is, I'm just going to touch on Andromeda just a little bit more. I didn't hate it as much as you did. I finished it. I finished it. All of the side quests, which I fucking hated doing, to be fair. I did all of the busy work. I did all of like the loyalty missions and all of that sort of shit. And I didn't hate it. I thought it was a fun game to play as long as I could look past all of the bullshit. Once I got onto a planet, and I think it was more a case of, because I'm quite a completionist, I love getting a list in a game, which I know doesn't sound great, but I love being given like an exploration area or like an open world, and there's like, here are all of these reasonable things to do. Here's a massive list of reasonable things to do. I'd love just to stick on a podcast and then spend hours just going from point A to B, C, D, and just ticking all these things off the list. The story I couldn't care for, but the gameplay sort of hooked me. But as soon as I was done, I was done. And I just think it wasn't a Mass Effect game. I don't think it should have been a Mass Effect game at all. And it would have been passable.
No,
but
because even if it wasn't a Mass Effect game, the gameplay was awful. The side quests were absolute fucking shit. They made no sense. There was no proper story to them. It wasn't like the side quests in Mass Effect, the other Mass Effect games, where there wasn't that many of them, but each of them were more. They were meaningful. They had like a story to them. They had, it was interesting to do. It was so many of them, and there was so much. It was like, go to this planet and collect this thing and bring it back to me. Thank you. He's not Commander, is he? Ryder. Pathfinder. Go here and do this. Pathfinder, can you go to this settlement and make sure they have everything they need? And then you get there and it's like, we have everything we need. And it's like, oh, thank you, Pathfinder, please come back. Oh, and it was
Preston Garvey put into...
And then the fucking Sudokus and...
That was... No, right, I'm not going into that because... No, let's stick with E3. Let's keep it focused. We've gone way off. Right, the next game from EA, which is the only thing I can... It's the only 2 things that they can bring out, really. Anthem. Battlefield 5. Next up. Thoughts on that? Go for it.
Yeah.
Yep. That's exactly it. I don't care. like
I mean,
the trailer they released was pretty cool.
You see, I didn't like the trailer. The thing I didn't like about the trailer is I don't care about, the fact that there's women in Battlefield 1, or there's a woman with a fucking... she had like a prosthetic arm that was really intuitive for that time period. It was the fact that it looks very, honestly, like bright and colourful and light-hearted from the way that trailer was. Like we've gone from that really. It was very. Battlefield 1 was very dark and depressing, and now it's very. Like I've seen someone compare the way the trailer looks to sort of that of Fortnite almost, the way it's quite bright and colourful looking.
I can see that.
And you've got like a bunch of these sort of different kooky characters. Like it's a bit of a weird.
I'm not gonna lie.
And concerning choice.
I watched the trailer when I saw the woman with the arm, and this might just be like my ignorance to how far technology was, I guess, and how I don't know what I'm trying to say. But when I saw the arm, I was like, "Oh my god, are they doing a steampunk like Battlefield?" I genuinely thought it was going to be a made-up fantasy war. I 100% thought that was what it was going to be. When where they jump out the window, and then the tank comes rolling over. I was like, oh my god, I'm so invested in this trailer because the whole scene in the house maybe I was looking at it wrong from the off. Maybe nobody else saw this, but I just thought that entire scene in the house, it was like steampunk-esque war. And then when they jumped out the window and then the tank rolled over, I was like, oh, so it's real world, but they're putting in steampunk aspect. And I was like, what fucking war is this? I genuinely like said that out loud watching it. I was like, what fucking war is this? I was like, they have to have made this up. And then when the plane comes flying over, and I was like, this is Battlefield. Like, but what the fuck is going on? And I was super like into it. It wasn't until I spoke to you guys in the group chat that you were like, oh no, it's World War II. Those tanks are, because you guys are fucking nerds with all of that stuff. But like, and they're all like real world stuff. And I was like, oh, so it's not a fantasy thing. And then I was immediately disappointed. And I was like, that would be more fun. Just make up a war. We don't have to keep bouncing between World War I and World War II. Because I think you could do a bit more, I guess. Granted, Battlefield is the realist first-person shooter. I get that. I get that's their angle. But it sort of just opens that idea to me. Being like, oh, maybe I want a fantasy war game. Like, not over the top, but it's something that I've never even thought of. I thought it was a really cool idea.
Sort of an alt history thing. Almost like sort of the
alternate
way
history,
Wolfenstein
yeah,
did
that's
it.
a really good one. Yeah. That's
like,
good.
So maybe at the end of that trailer, I think it would have been great if the trailer, you have that trailer, but then it ended with like, you know, there was like a bridge, wasn't there? But what if that got blown up by like a giant diesel punk mech thing?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, this is World War II, but they're a bit more advanced or something. And then maybe like one guy has like a laser gun or something weird.
Yeah, I saw that the
because you could do so much more with that instead of just doing, oh look, this one's set in World War One, this one's set in World War Two, this one's set in modern times, this one's set 100 years from now, but not really going to change that much. This one's it's just like,
I did see the Twitter feed for Battlefield 5. They said they've put the Roman numeral, so it's Battlefield V, like that's how it comes across, and that is for victory. So I'm assuming this is set like that. It's not a story really. They're going to have those little chapters like they did in Battlefield 1, where it's just different small campaigns, which I quite like. But I think it's all going to, I think it's all going to be based on how the war was won. Because they said victory is going to be the main theme, which is why I can see they've done it much brighter. And they've done it a bit more like light-hearted, so I can see that angle. I can see all of the design aspects.
Victory Royale. Oh my god, it was there the whole time.
Oh no!
They're making a battle royale game, Ben.
But yeah, other than that, I don't really have any more thoughts on Battlefield. Again, it's another FIFA. Like,
serious point. How long before EA tried to cash in on the battle royale thing?
I think.
How much money would you put down to say right now that they've got something in development that has a battle royale mode?
Battlefield 5 has one. They've said that.
Has it?
They've said that.
Fuck.
They've got a prototype. They've got a prototype. It's not coming on launch, but it's there.
Fuck.
So that won't be far off at all. I am terrified. I think E3 overall, we're going to see a lot of Battle Royale, which I'm not opposed to. Unpopular opinion. Jack clearly is. Have you cut out?
No. I'm just thinking, what's next?
Okay. I'm gonna leave it there because again, this is a nice long recording. So we've covered Ubisoft and EA for today. Again, we've not covered much. Like I said, we've only really spoken. Ubisoft was Assassin's Creed, Splinter Cell, Beyond Good and Evil 2, which we barely even fucking touched, Anthem and Battlefield 5, with a nice reminiscence of how great Mass Effect Andromeda was. I think that's mainly just because I don't think these studios have much coming. I'd love to be surprised. I'd love for them to turn up and just drop a massive load of goodness. But I don't think it's coming. I think with Ubisoft, they are so predictable these days. They've got no surprises. And I think EA overall are going to be coming on tail between their legs with not much to show and are only turning up out of principle because they know that they fucked up.
You know what EA might do? It's just a thought. You know, we got the Way Out and it was classed as EA Originals. Maybe I hope we see something more like that, like an original game from EA, just so it's more stuff to play instead of just FIFA billion and 6 or whatever. Like we're gonna play a Way Out. At this time of recording, we haven't played it yet, but the interesting concept of you have to play it in co-op. Maybe they're gonna do something like that again. Fingers crossed, maybe. Like not necessarily the co-op thing, but like another original spin on something. For an EA original.
We'll see. I'm open to that idea, but I don't think it will be there, if I'm honest. But we shall see. But if there's anything Ubisoft or EA or any of the games that we have discussed, I'm sure Jack wants to hear what you all thought about Mass Effect Andromeda. Hit him up on Twitter. But that's all we've got EA for E3 today. I guess we'll see you in whatever we cover next. I think we've got Bethesda coming up next, and
I think the next one we do Bethesda and then like just the random other bits we have.
Oh no, yeah, I've still got a fair list. We've still got quite a lot of content to get through during our recording sessions. So stay tuned. But we will see you in the next one.